All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another playoff game for the Illinois Dota 2 League. This game is another winners bracket playoff, and it will be between Piece of Toast and J Harry the Carry. Piece of Toast was the winner of Group A, and I believe J Harry the Carry was second place in Group B. So whoever loses this match, will be knocked down to the losers bracket where they will only have one game left. So this week we actually have quite a couple games lined up for everyone. Excluding today, we have games on Sunday and Saturday, I believe. So stay tuned for those. But again, this game today is the winners bracket second game between J Hair the Carry and Piece of Toast, who were having logo identity crises earlier. But sorry about the delay, everyone that might be watching. But we're ready to get started now, and so hopefully we don't have any problems loading in. And okay, cool, we're ready to go. So just kind of a quick update on the league for anyone that maybe hasn't been like keeping up the league that much. Last week, I think we had a game between Farm and Feed and Playosaurus Rex. Farm and Feed took that series 2-0 pretty convincingly, even though game one was pretty close. The second game was a little bit one-sided. Sorry about the spoilers. Shoot, should have had a spoiler thing. God damn it. Anyway, so getting into the game, we have a Terrorblade first ban by fucking Ink Dota for life by Piece of Toast. You saw in the 6.82C patch, Terrorblade got nerfed quite a couple times. He got that movement speed reduction and metamorphosis. I think his conjure images take a little bit more damage than they usually do, but still, he still has a lot of pushing power and a lot of early game team fight and late game team fight as well. So definitely a very top tier pick still, and it's no surprise that he's banned right now. I guess for anyone that might be listening, if I have any audio problems, feel free to leave a message and down Twitch chat. I'll try to keep along with Twitch chat as this game goes. But again, just if there's any problem, just let me know. Or if my voice is too soft or something, try to let me know as well. I'm using a new mic right now, so it might not pick up my voice as good as the other one I was using before. But that's what you get when you pay for a lower quality mic. Although it's on a very heavy discount. So, yo, I'm casting. What? Nah, I'm good. Yeah.
Radiant team pick.
You're not a bird, Sammy. Alright, so getting back to this draft. Sorry about that, guys. Roommate discussion right there. So we have a... Whoops. Alright. We have a Razor, Faceless Void, and Death Prophet ban as well. So again, those heroes are still very strong in this patch, as they always are. And we need more music volume, to be honest.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alright, whoops. I'm back again. Just have to play up the volume of the audio volume a little bit. But again, so the bans, we have pretty standard first bans. All these heroes are very strong at what they do. Can do many roles very well, so no surprise there first. Then we have that the Skywrath Mage and Sand King pickup from J Hair the Carry. I know we saw in ESL New York how effective this roaming combo is, or just this support combo in general, just because the Burrow Strike into a Ancient Seal and a Mystic Flare is definitely no joke. And Sand King, obviously he can farm his Blink Dagger pretty fast in the jungle, while Skywrath Mage, has a lot of lane presence with his Arcane Bolt. So very solid support duo from J Hair the Carry. This is something we saw VG Gaming do, and I think these two supports have have a little bit of everything. A lot of damage from both the Mystic Flare and Epicenter, a decent amount of lockdown with the Silence and the Burrow Strike, and all around just pretty good lane presence, or pretty good farming. On the other side, we have Brewmaster and Centaur Warrunner picked for Piece of Toast. And Brewmaster, very strong hero this patch still. And I think he's never, he's still very popular, even though he has some very small nerfs. But Brewmaster, I think is not as good against heroes like Skywrath Mage and Sandkey, who are really silence the Brewmasters because he has that cast time on his ultimate. But with heroes like Centaur on Piece of Toast, it's really easy for them to kind of run out of Epicenter or run out of a Mystic Flare. So that's a pretty nice kind of small counter to the Sand King and Skywrath Mage combo. Within
10
the second round of
seconds
bans, we see
remaining.
a Tiny ban. That's not something we see a lot. Tiny is a very
5
strong carry,
seconds
but no,
remaining.
it's not really a hero that's like prioritized in competitive pay by any means. So maybe this might be a
Reserve
respect
time.
ban, or maybe this is a combo, that Piece of Toast has ran before, and Jay here the hero doesn't really want a Tiny to kind of mess with, just because Tiny, if he gets out of control, he can just farm so fast. And he's probably one of the strongest carries in the game, honestly, with his improved base damage from Grow, and his Craig exterior is honestly just no joke. But we have a Naga and Tidehunter ban there, and a little like C synergy ban on the Dire side. Very good teamfight heroes in the form of Tidehunter and Naga Siren. The sleep is very good in setting up the Sand King or the Skywrath Mage, and the Tidehunter, same thing, another very
Radiant
strong
team
teamfight
pick.
hero. And it looks like Piece of Toast just wants to keep Jay here the carrier from getting their hands on stronger team fight, or maybe just a really annoying split push in the form of Naga. For a fourth ban, we have Pugna, so that's pretty interesting as well. I think Pugna is good against heroes like Sand King and Skywrath Mage, just because like that Nether Ward will cancel Sand King's Blink Dagger if he's in range. Nether Ward would probably kill
10
Skywrath
seconds
Mage
remaining.
outright if he casts a Mystic Flare from like level 11 or anything like that. But,
5 seconds remaining.
Pugna is also a very strong lane pusher, and I guess one thing I didn't mention about the Tiny is that Tiny is also a very strong lane pusher, just because his toss can do damage to a tower, and once he gets the Aghanim Scepter, obviously, he is probably one of the fastest pushers in the whole game. So that's something to watch out for. It looks like Jay the carry looking to play a little bit more of a gank style here with their Clockwork third pick. Nothing much to say here except Clockwork has great synergy with the Skywrath Mage, setting up a very easy Mystic Flare, also just steady damage with Arcane Bolts early into the game. So, Clockwork is usually a solo offlane hero, but, maybe paired up with something like Skywrath Mage wouldn't be too bad, but then that would definitely leave a very weak safe lane for Jay here the carry with a Sand King support. And that's not something you really want against a pretty decent offlaner in the form of Centaur. You definitely want to be able to kind of bully the Centaur offlane, just because you definitely can be killed if like Skywrath Mage and Sand King are level 2, level 3. That should definitely be an easy kill for the Radiant side there. But let's see, who Piece of Toast really want to pick up. They're definitely missing a support hero, and here we have a support pick right now. Jakiro is picked, and so I think this definitely really shows a strong pushing lineup from Piece of Toast. Obviously, Panda and Centaur are pretty decent pushers, just because they can really zone out the enemy team from defending the tower or initiate a team fight. And Jakiro is definitely very good for following up a clap or a stomp. And honestly, his best trait is obviously probably the Liquid Fire, where he just slowly chips away the tower. Where I think you can, a Jakiro can finish off a tower with one single creep wave with max Liquid Fire. That's pretty insane. Like no other hero can really do that except for maybe something like a Leshrac, to be honest. So we're definitely like kind of missing carry heroes for both of these teams. And a lot of the premier carry heroes are kind of gone. The Void, the Naga, and the Terrorblade are all gone. So it'll be interesting to see, what these teams want to pick as their carries. So Spectre, Spectre again, rising in popularity, but his weakness is obviously his safe lane. But with a Sand King and Skywrath backing him up, it should be very easy for him to secure enough farm, go whatever item he wants. I'm guessing a Radiance. A Radiance is pretty good here. And one thing Spectre is pretty good is canceling Blink Daggers. If he can get this Haunt quick enough before the Brewmaster and Centaur get their blinks off, that could be very valuable for the team fight. Very valuable for like Sand King or Clockwork to hook in while Spectre kind of catches them unaware. But we have a Marauder pick right now, and looks like that will be the one position for Piece of Toast right now. Marana is definitely, a carry hero that can provide a lot of effectiveness in the early and mid game, just because her spells are very effective. Moonlight Shadow can never be underestimated, and overall she's a very solid laner. So I really think the Dire have very strong lanes right now. We're kind of missing a mid hero for Jay here the carry, but Brewmaster is a pretty tough opponent, for mid hero to go against if it's not a like range hero with very strong kind of lane control or harass. We have a last ban of bait, very smart. They very easy bait Marana combo, maybe into a Jakiro Ice Path. That's definitely an easy kill there. But let's see who Dire pans out. They're definitely missing a mid hero unless we have a Clockwork mid, which is kind of a relic, honestly. We don't really see any Clockwork mid. I think we saw a S4 Clockwork mid the other day. Maybe it was an ESL, I don't quite remember, but Panda, I think, is just a very strong mid hero that can really just beat most other melee heroes just because he has that automatic crit, automatic dodge, and a very big thunderclap. You know, it slows both movement speed and attack speed, so you can't really run away from the thunderclap. You can't, you know, fight back against the Panda. It's just very hard. But
Radiant
we have a Bat
team
Rider ban
pick.
right now, and it looks like they're trying to ban any heroes that might give Panda a hard time in the lane. Although, you know, Panda can definitely hold his own against the Bat Rider pretty easily, but it looks like they just don't want to give JHtC a little bit more initiation than what they already have. Because the Clockwork and Sand King, you know, are pretty decent initiations right now. But honestly, I don't know. I think Bat Rider isn't really much of a threat here just because things like Brewmaster and Centaur
10
and Hero
seconds remaining.
can really kind of like stop a Bat Rider from blinking in or just really discourage him. You know,
5
if
seconds
Bat Rider
remaining.
blinks in on any hero but the Brew, you know, Brew can kind of counter initiate with the
Dire
clap and
team
split.
pick.
If he blinks in on the Brew, Centaur can easily just, you know, stomp the Bat Rider before any shenanigans can happen. We have a last pick OD right now, so that's going to be their mid hero, and that's a very strong mid hero that we see here. Can easily beat the Panda in the mid lane just because, you know, OD has incredibly strong base stats. I believe he has 5 armor, a bunch of base damage, and so in terms of stats, you know, he's right up there with the
10 seconds remaining.
the most stat heavy melee heroes. So, and to add to the fact that, you know, Panda does not have like much intelligence, you know, 1 or 2 astral imprisonments maybe just cause Brewmaster to completely run out of mana, and basically just has to sit there as like a really big melee creep and just watch OD farm. OD as a pick, you know, it's just another core that kind of synergizes well with some of the heroes they've already picked. It's very good with like the Clockwork and Sand King just because that's set up for the really large Sandy's Eclipse. But again, it's just like
Radiant
another core
pick.
is always helpful to these lineups just because of that gold and the XP change that we've seen from 16.82. And a lot of cores are encouraged right now in today's competitive play, and it's no surprise to see a 2 or even 3 core lineup. And we have a Lone Druid last pick, 4 piece of toes. That's something interesting, and so it seems like Lone Druid will probably go mid, honestly, just because Lone Druid, you know, doesn't really care if his intelligence is stolen. Can last hit with a bear and his hero to kind of match OD's increased damage to last hit. And, you know, once Lone Druid gets level 5, OD will have to be careful for those, you know, random roots that might come from the bear. So that's a pretty nice last pick there from Lone Druid. Very good against the OD, or maybe not very good, but a lot better than the Panda, that's for sure. So I'm not really sure where the Panda will land then. So I'm guessing he'll be a support Mirana in this case. Yes, it is. Judging by her items, that is definitely a support Mirana with Sentry Wards right now. And hopefully everyone isn't lagging too bad. I'm doing fine right now. Sorry guys, some administrative business there. Looks like some friendly trash talk, but before we get in the game, I will introduce the teams. On the Radiant side, we have JHtC, second place in their group. We have MYB Bear Jew on the OD, Swipe Left on the Spectre, Nikki Lauda on the Skywrath Mage, Bathroom Boy on the Sand King, and Weed Warrior on the Clockwork. On their side, we have Piece of Toast first in their group. On the Dire side, we have Shibi Dota on the Panda, Devdas on the THD, Newsham on the Mirana, Avukamu on the Lone Druid, and SU Blood on the Centaur. It looks like we have a potential aggressive tri-lane here with the Centaur. This is a very strong killing tri-lane just because, you know, a stomp into an arrow into Ice Path, that's an easy kill on any of these heroes. And I think Spectre honestly will have a very tough time. I kind of like to see maybe Spectre rotate up top. It looks like we have an arrow on the Sand King. Ice Path to follow. Is there a stomp? Yes, there is. Sand King, he already skilled Burrow Strike. Can he Burrow Strike? Nope. No Burrow Strike. He didn't even attempt to use it. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Even if he was going down, maybe he could have just like done a little bit of damage on the Dire side. But nice pickup there. Nice arrow by the Mirana to set up that kill. And I think that was a 5-second arrow, or else, you know, that probably wouldn't have happened. But looking at these lanes, you know, we have the OD against the Lone Druid mid. That's kind of what we expect. And, you know, Lone Druid and OD, I think that's a pretty even match until OD gets level 5, just because, you know, OD has, what is it, 66 base damage against 50 plus 33. Obviously, you know, combined, it's pretty flavor against the Lone Druid, but sometimes it never, like, sets up combined evenly. We see a Mirana arrow, but just fishing once again. No, sorry, just fishing this time. Last arrow hit, so. But, you know, I think, you know, they see the Mirana in the mid lane. Maybe Spectre can kind of be a little bit more aggressive and get some farm, but I didn't really let me talk about the top matchup a little bit before things get too crazy on the bottom. We have a Panda against a Clockwork. I think this matchup could really go either side. Panda will probably have an advantage early just because the Clap is just such a good spell at kind of harassing the Clockwork. But if Clockwork can like drain the mana from the Panda, he can easily go for a kill with a very high level and battery assault and a very nice Cogs from the Panda. So my eyes will actually be focused on the spot lane, though. I think the top and mid lane will kind of be a wash, to be honest. You know, it really depends on the skills of both players, but this is where the action is. We have Mirana in a very nice position. Arrow, Ice Cap, this should definitely be a very easy kill. This should be a very easy 2-0 lead for Piece of Toast. So this aggressive tri-lane, you know, just doing so much work. Even though, you know, Piece of Toast doesn't really have like a traditional one position hero like the Spectre, but you know, their early game damage is just really strong. This Sand King, you know, going up against his level 1 Rana really just can't do anything to her. And you know, Centaur, probably one of the strongest laners, honestly, in the game. He has so much burst damage at level 3. At level 3, he has 250 plus 100 damage, 350 burst damage, or about 260 with a magic reduction. But you know, with the support of Jakiro, he has an Ice Path and Liquefy right now. Let's see what he kind of wants to level up after that. But we have another nice arrow on the Sand King. He's gonna give his life to the support, but nice tangle outwards. Gotta tangle those trees, son. Tangle. Looks like JHtC on Mirana. Skyrim level 2 right now, but looks like both of these heroes might go down. Skyrim needs to get out there right now before he needs another kill. Will this be 4-0? Early lead for Piece of Toast. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So nice play from this aggressive tri-lane, you know. Again, this killing potential is just so strong on the Dire side. Just because, you know, they have so many stuns. They have stun on each hero, extra burst damage from each hero as well. So, you know, it's going really bad for JHtC right now. This Spectre has 5 CS. That's not what we want to see from a Spectre 3 minutes in. But, you know, this is what you expect. You know, this Mirana has been doing a lot of work this game, hitting those arrows with or without setup, and really just keeping the Sand King, you know, off his game. Sand King has no experience so far. This is going to be a big problem for the Radiant side later on to the mid game, just because they won't have an epicenter, they won't have a blink. Sand King will just be, you know, one burrow strike. We have an arrow coming in. Looks like they see it coming, but you know, this Mirana just kind of, you know, doing her job, keeping Sand King down, maybe keeping the OD on his toes. I really think Sand King should trade hits with Mirana right now. He has more armor, he has more base damage, he has a burrow strike, so nothing to fear right now. You know, better to like use your mana before you die, right? So you know, I think we usually just burrow strike right now, but maybe he doesn't want to risk feeding another kill just because Mirana's level 2, and Mirana is a range hero, so I don't blame him. But you know, they need something to kind of get back in this game. You know, maybe once Clockwork is level 6, he can rotate to the bottom lane and really help out there. But I really feel like I sound really strange right now, and hopefully, yeah, the mic's still on, so that's good. All right, whoops, I'm back, guys. So kind of look at the lanes right now. We have OD and Panda leading the farm charge. Looks like Lone Druid is not doing as well as he might have liked. No, he's almost level 5 though. I mean, he is level 5, so that'll be something good. No, if he gets a root right here, you know, we can see OD just get a lot of harassed. So Orbital Venom on the bear right now, so that's even more harassed. But Mirana, you know, just really wants to secure the game for Piece of Toast right now. They're looking for a root from the bear before Mirana fires an arrow, and if JHtC does not know that the arrow is there and he uses the Astral Imprisonment when he's rooted, that will be an easy kill. And Jakiro even rotated, but looks like we have Brewmaster getting a kill on the Sand King. Wow, 2-on-1 gang. I did not see that, guys. But that's really unfortunate. You know, Brewmaster didn't have to use Split. He's not even level 6 yet, but did not get that kill. That's a disaster, honestly. 2 for 1. Yet the Brewmaster is the one that comes out on top. You know, that's pretty surprising. You know, Clockwork has max level battery assault and Clogs. I'm surprised they didn't get that kill, but you know, everything's going the way for Toast right now. It's kind of hard to stop that momentum. We can definitely see a very early lead. You know, 2,500 in the goal. I think 1,000 experience. So no surprises there. But we have Mirana right now rotating the top lane. Still 2 heroes on top. But does Brewmaster have mana for a split? No, he doesn't. But Clockwork has mana for battery assault. I think that might make all the difference. If you know, if he realizes that he can save battery assault for an easy kill, but Clockwork is really low right now. What is he doing? He should have used battery assault, honestly. I think he could turn it around with a battery assault rather than a Cogs, but playing it safe with the Cogs, even though that almost got him killed. But how's the bot lane doing for the Radiant side? Very poorly. Centaur is definitely on the top charge. Looks like he's on his way to a very fast Blink Dagger. This will be a 8-minute Blink Dagger. But the only saving grace for the Radiant side is that this this OD has not been killed right now. Oh, he gets a root. Where's the arrow to follow up? Or the arrow is not even needed just because of that Orb of Venom right now. Oh no, TP in, Lone Druid really wants to kill, thinks better of it. Gets Astral Imprison right now. There's 2 stacks of Astral Imprison. Is there enough to get the really big Sandy's Eclipse? He's not level 6, but not Sandy's Eclipse yet. Oh no, this should be a dead Clockwork then. If he gets one more shot, right click off. No, Sand King comes in against this Jakiro with the double damage. Jakiro needs to be really careful now. One Ice Path on the OD can really kill the OD just because he has that double damage again. But no Sandy's Eclipse, you know. You see this before, but that's just very interesting. Looks like, oh, the OD will go down here. Double kill with the Jakiro. Man, they did not respect that double damage. And they really paid dearly for it. You know, that Liquid Fire slowed the attack speed of the OD, and unfortunately, 2 kills, 7-0 right now for Peas and Toast. Panda's still farming. He's almost his blink center, almost at this point. And so once those blinks go up, I'm imagining this game will be ending very fast. There'll be increased levels of aggression from the Dire side, and you know, really, the heroes from the Radiant are just not farming enough. Sand King level 3, Skywrath Mage level 3, and those big ultimates really need to be online. And unfortunately, Sand King, I'm not really sure he's in there, but looks like he wasn't able to get the stack off. But, you know, Saving Grace is that he's level 3, you know. I'm not sure how much of Saving Grace that is, but at least he's level 3 and he can farm the jungle somewhat effectively, even though they're just so far behind, you know. You always have to be careful of, like, Mirana roaming through the jungle, maybe a Centaur or a Brew as well roaming through the jungle. And so, you know, both of these heroes, these supports are just, you know, in a very bad position right now. They're food for the Panda, food for the Centaur, you know, when they hit their Blink Dagger. So,
attack.
no, this was a very much a uphill climb. Clockwork has level 6, but I don't think ganking the lone Druid is the right choice here, even though he is in Druid form right now. But he really wants this kill. If they can get it, that would be a big kill. But lone Druid can easily just transform and just give a lot of HP. But looks like they're waiting for some kind of back to arrive. But he realizes Jakiro is coming. He should have saw the invis, and Jakiro is in position. But oh man, maybe Clockwork kind of wants to bait out this Jakiro. And then, and, you know, Jakiro, if he's under the influence of Battery Assault, he cannot cast any spells. So kind of a fun fact there. But we kind of have ODT on the top. He has to be careful. He has the Panda has a Blink Dagger, but nice fast Astral Prison. Will he get hit by this arrow or just just zoning out the OD? But regardless, you know, the lane presence from the Dire side is really strong. Centaur can easily hold back the Spectre just because Spectre has to be afraid of a Stomp, Stampede, and Double Edge combo, while these other heroes can really spare the burst damage. Lone Druid, we're getting gone right now, but Macro Pyre very early on from doing a lot of work actually to this OD. OD still no ultimate. Clockwork, nice hook, and can he get the kill? No Battery Assault. Battery Assault on, but unless it's Jakiro, we'll get another kill. Can he make a double kill? Does he even get the kill on Clockwork? Gets a kill on Clockwork, but he trades his life for it. So 1-for-1 trade right now. The Radiant side gets on the board. Jakiro for the Clockwork. I think that's definitely very beneficial for the Radiant side because Jakiro, higher level, has a bounty on his head, and so, you know, maybe that trade was what they needed to kind of get started, but that could have been a disaster if Clockwork died, if OD died. That Macro Pyre taken early on is not something you see too commonly in a pub game, in any kind of game actually, just because it's so hard to get that damage early on, and even though it's a great farming tool, you don't really want to spend 220 mana on that. You know, Dual Breath is as good, but obviously it takes skill, 4 skill points, so there's nothing to trade out there, but it's kind of interesting to see that Panda is still farming right now.
Radiant's top tower
because he has that Blink Dagger early on. He can definitely set things up with a hero like the Centaur, who also has his Blink Dagger. They can just push down all these tier 1 towers, but I'm not really sure why they're not choosing not to right now. Let me just check my audio just to make sure it's working still. Yes, it is. And, okay, let me... Alright, good. Everything's good right now. It looks like we have a rotation on the bottom lane right now. Oh, Centaur, how did he get so low? Oh, nice stomp. Nice arrow. Is there anything to save this, Spectre? No, there isn't. Oh, wow, that's really unfortunate. It looks like that dispersion damage killed the Centaur. That was, that was a dead Spectre. Dead Spectre regardless. Looks like I missed a kill on the top lane. That Bruce split went off on the Clockwork. Will this be a dead Skywrath Mage as well? Oh, yes, no mana for the clap right now, so, however, Skywrath Mage is not level 6, but, unfortunately, easy kill on the Clockwork with this split. But Mirana, nice arrow again. No Starfall. That's for Mirana, but they really need a root right now. Ooh, rooting the hero. I don't think that's a good plan at all. Odie needs to get out there. Spectre haunts it right now, but will he get in? Centaur ultimate wasted. No Blink Dagger on the OD. easy kill for them. Spectre haunts him, but to no avail. Looks like Skyrath Mage is clean up in the background, but Spectre, Sand King gets Ice Path right now. But looks like there's no detection right now, but there should be a stomp soon enough. Just kidding, Macro Pyre. No, nice throw strike from the Sand King, but even faster Blink from the Cannon. So 13 for 2 right now. This game is probably all but over. 5k golden XP lead right now, but the thing is, even with this lead, it might be possible to come back, but just the dire side has such a strong fighting lineup. Clockwork comes in, gets the first hit root, but Avocom getting really low, thinking this kill. This might be worth it right now. Yes, it is. Nice play. Looks like he was trying to do the invincibility with the transformation, but is there an epicenter? This would be a really nice kill for all these heroes if there was an epicenter, but no. Sand King is even level 6 right now. So he's only level 5, but will he be able to get another Burrow Strike on the Centaur? Oh, nice pick off on the Skyrath Mage on the background. You should know that there's invisible heroes nearby, but oh, Blink on the Sand King. Can he get a Burrow Strike in time? Yes, he does. Nice play. But no, looks like his life for it. So I think he can get one kill in return. Jakiro gets hit. One big orb. Another big orb. Oh, one more big orb. Kills. He can't get a kill on Centaur right now. Yes, nice battery assault. Clockwork doing so much work. Oh, he might trap the Mirana there, but he needs to hit a clock right now. What is he doing? This Clockwork just standing there, doing nothing right now. But if they can get this Mirana kill, it'd be huge. Try to get him back in the game. But even bigger prize is this lone Druid. He's in Druid form right now. Oh no, this should be a feed. Wow, 4 kills goes the way of the Radiant side. They're definitely back in this game. Even though I was talking about how good the fighting is on the Dire side, but it looks like they were kind of just overextending right there. Their heroes were very low from kind of fighting in this area down here, and yet they still took another fight up here. So they really kind of overextended them right there. They were both low on health and mana, so really just giving JHtC the carry a chance to come back into this game. These kills might seem like a lot, but any kill just helps bring these heroes closer to their big ultimates. Sand King unfortunately still just hit level 6 and gives Blink Dagger, but OD has this in back right now. It's a really big team fight item. He has it pretty early, despite how the team is doing, so it's a very nice farming job on the OD, but that mech might be needed, to kind of carry the game, or at least get them back in for JHtC because there's no mech right now on the other side. We have a ward spy on the Skyrath Mage. He is there. Stampede on the Skyrath Mage. He's going the weird way, but he does have a TPs right now. Do they suspect a nice play on the Skyrath Mage? Spectre definitely has to be very careful. There's an offensive ward right now near his bottom tier 1 tower, and he needs to have a dagger or a TV scroll. He has a dagger at least, but no TV scroll. He has to get out of there right now before they come in for his life. But all this time we still have these heroes trying to catch up. Sand King, he's trying to get level 6, trying to get his Blink Dagger, and I think Sand King shouldn't really join these fights. They can all maybe give up a tier 1 tower, but he really needs his Blink Dagger as soon as he can. But unfortunately, the Dire side has kind of control of their jungle right now, so maybe he should rotate to the top jungle, kind of clear out these 2 camps. That might be a little bit safer. And why is my pencil right now? I see I have 2 line speeds at the same time. Very cool. I have no idea what's going on right now, but this is really cool stuff actually. Sorry. Alright, so we definitely have, an early lead for the Dire side. 2 towers to none, I believe, and with this hero, most heroes like stand up with his ultimate. It looks like they might be waiting for Stampede right now. Stampede is indeed on cooldown. But with Liquid Fire and the Bruce Split, they should be taking these fights without problem. Oh, OD jumps in. He cannot die here because he has the mech. He has to be really careful right now. Does he use his mech? Oh, nice disruption. I mean, actually, that might be a waste of split. But looks like Spectre comes in. If he can kill the kill, that'd be very huge. But looks like, oh, nice hook from the Clockwork. 1 kill. The Bruce Split gets the OD in the background. And unfortunately, this is Flare. Just have a little bit of nerf. Do not as much damage, but Skyrath Mage picking out by the Bruce Split. So can they get the Super Master when he comes back? This is Blink Dagger right now, so there's nothing to fear. Centaur gets out cleanly, and the lone Druid that whole time was not in this team fight. Mirana, I don't think she was in that team fight. So 3 for 5, and gets 2 to 1 kills. That's not a good sign for the Radiant side right now. But Spectre got a kill, which is good. OD unfortunately died. I really think Sand King without his Blink Dagger cannot really kind of counter initiate as well as OD might have thought kind of TP and Soul Ball is good. Spectre, he gets the Panda right now. He has his dagger. He can just TP out right now, but I am not sure what this guy is doing. He looks like he's waiting for health to come in from the Skyrath Mage. Is there a Mystic Flare? That'd be very good on this TP, but nope. That's kind of a shame. Again, so Mystic Flare, we've seen that Skyrath getting nerfed all these patches. His Mystic nerf is a 2.4 second spread right now on its damage, and that's a 20% increase from its previous state, which was 2 damage. In very 6.81 days, a very slight increase from the 6.82 days, but I think that's pretty big for the Skyrath Mage, just because the dire side have things like Stampede, and they can get out really early, but can we get a nice hook in on the Clockwork? Oh, hero, yes he does. He gets hooked into the Macroplier. Is there a TP? Panic TP's in right now. He'll take it out of there. No, you don't. Bruce Split hasn't been used yet. Hero should be dead. Clockwork, doing what he does against heroes like Earthshaker. But, oh, what level cogs does this Clockwork have? Very high level cogs, burning a lot of the Brewmaster's mana. Like, oh, nice try by the Stampede to save, but Stampede goes off, so 3-for-1 trade right now, 2-for-2 trade. Looks like they got the Lone Druid in the background. Sorry I missed that, folks. It looks like it was OD killing the Lone Druid in the top lane, I'm guessing. But if they lose the Spectre right now, this would be a disaster. Is there a Mystic Flare? Not enough mana. There's no one either on the Skyrath Mage. Doesn't make do without it. It looks like they're still holding back. If they get us, they get the kill on the Brewmaster before the split comes off. 3-for-2 trade right there. Nice play by the Radiant side. I think, the dire side's getting a little too confident right now. They're kind of spread out when they're taking these fights. Heroes are TPing in one by one when they can be kind of coming together and pushing S5. That'll be way more effective than what they're doing right now. But where is the Astral Imprisonment just for some extra intelligence? Looks like he's trying to play it safe, and he has to be really careful right now. He does not have his ultimate. Mirana's still around. Centaur has Blink. Moonlight Shadow goes off. He has to pop his mech soon before he gets, gone upon. They see him right now. There's Observer Ward right now, but he has to be very careful not to get stomped. Oh, nice play. Oh, Mirana about to die. Yes, nice hook in and orb. Looks like that's a very nice pick off. Again, these heroes are just not kind of in the same page here. There's two kind of trying to fight in the bottom rune here. Jakiro joins them, but all this time, Lone Druid is farming, going for a relic. No, he spent his gold. He's going for a Maelstrom, I'm guessing, but no, they have to be take these fights as a team with heroes like Panda when he has his ultimate, and not just go in one by one. So, JHtC, we saw them, go fall a pretty early deficit. They're still quite behind, but they're definitely catching back a lot in terms of experience, and they're starting to make their way in terms of gold as well. So this Spectre looks like he's kind of ditching any aspirations for a raid because they were so far behind early on. He's going for a fighting build with the drums, and to be honest, he's just very, very poor. So can't really ask too much of the Spectre that, excuse me, he kind of went against such a scary tri-lane on the other side, but he has to be the one to carry the game. He can't get picked off by this Brewmaster. Will Brewmaster commit the split right now? There should be a dagger into the trees. Why is he not daggering sooner is my question. I think he shouldn't be toying around too much. He should just dagger in the trees in case the Brew splits. He needs those extra seconds, but no harm there. We have a Astral Imprisonment. Three heroes on the bottom lane against his OD. OD gets out. There's a Blink Dagger right now. I mean, double damage, but does he need the Centaur getting it right now? Is there a word on the Radiant side? Oh, he needs to get out there right now. I mean, Centaur will have the Blink Dagger, so they have to be very careful. Sand King eats a arrow to the face. This should be a dead. No, Clockwork interrupts. Oh, that was an interesting move from the Centaur, but looks like, oh, Clockwork, what are you doing? Kill that Clockwork. Oh, he does Centaur ultimate goes down. What's happening? Brewmaster split with a Sand King goes down, Centaur goes down. Looks like the Mystic Flare was dropped on the Centaur that took him down, but Brewmaster split going on the OD right now. Mirana in the background. Will they have to get a kill on the OD? Yes, it does. If they can kill the Storm Spirit, that'll be a lot of the damage that's taken away. He also has a self-Astral Assault. Nice hog on the Brewmaster, keeping him in place. Is there any detection? This will be a very nice kill. He does have that max battery assault. This should be a good Brewmaster. Yes, it is. Nice team fight. 3-for-1 trade. Wow, did not see him get you kill in the background, but I'm guessing he just got picked off. But all this time, we have Abu Kamu pushing the tower. If they do not get this tower, this will be a really big loss. But he has to get the tower, and he has no TP right now. This is definitely very bad. Oh wow, they even get the deny. What is this? Outplay by the Radiant side right now. Abu Kamu is just feeding. They have to get the bear before they'll get the extra gold. Yes, they do. Nice play. They get the hero kill and the bear kill. That'll be a big 600 plus gold swing in the way of the Radiant side. So sloppy pay. If Mirana gets killed right now, that'd be even bigger. Mirana used her leap. Wow, nice play by this Clockwork. This Clockwork has been very impressive this game. Very nice hook, but I really think he should kill his own cogs faster. Maybe in the heat of a battle, he doesn't realize it, but he has to be the one to kind of control these fights. Getting those cogs off on things like a Centaur Stomp, defensive cogs are just very strong here right now. And the fact that he has max cogs and he's such a high level early on means this 200 mana burn is no joke at all to heroes like the Centaur, like the Panda. But looks like Skyrath Mage was picked off by the Brewmaster. I'm guessing it was just blink in, hit. Unfortunately, the Skyrath Mage, I'm guessing, was kind of low, but he wasn't able to do anything right now. Looks like there's engagement on the Centaur right now. Blink away. we have OD right now going for a 4-staff, so and he has a 4-staff complete, so both of these teams are definitely fighting now. No minuses, nothing like that, no farming items. The Sand can't have his Blink Dagger yet, so with the stack, he should have his Blink Dagger, and that would be huge. So let's kind of take a look at what some of these heroes are going for. It looks like they saw this warp being placed down. Can they get the Shakiro in Astral Incineration? Oh! Fog. Looks like Shakiro's able to fog that Astral Imprisonment and gets the Ice Path off. So nice play by the Shakiro there, but still, this game is definitely a little bit more in danger for the Dire side just because they were kind of playing sloppy. They weren't really playing as a 5-man team where they're the strongest. But let me do a quick item check on these heroes right now. We still have this bear with a single Mithril hand. I'm surprised he doesn't have any more items right now. Looks like there's a glove of haste, so he has his Maelstrom, I believe, if he wants it right now, or just in a couple gold. So there it is coming right now. But what items are these heroes going to go for? Looks like Centaur has a cloak. Can't tell if it's a casual cloak yet or maybe a pipe. Pipe is pretty strong against things like the OD ult, against the Sand King ult. So I would definitely recommend a pipe here. That's a very strong item to go for. What Panda looks like he's going for a Shiva's Guard, I'm guessing, or maybe an AC. I think AC is part of the Battle Brew build, but I think a Shiva's might be a little bit better here just because it's just more damage now on the Shiva's. That 200 burst damage with that Frost effect might really help them in these team fights. The AC is definitely more of a later game choice, but I really think they should try to win these fights as soon as possible and push on the base, before things like the Centaur and the Brewer become less effective in the game. But it looks like, but still, on the flip side, Assault Curious would keep the Brewmaster more relevant. Let me just do a quick audio check right now. Looks like it sounds fine, but so again, going to get back to the diamond situations, we have a Rosh attempt going on right now on the Dire side. Looks like OD needs to realize this is happening and find some farm somewhere, honestly. I think he should farm his own jungle, if not, the lane, just because they do have wards here, other protection from a sentry ward. No, not their sentry ward, but unfortunately, they go in too late. They just get picked off right now by the Brewmaster. That's an interesting choice. I think Brewmaster is obviously the most important team fight hero, and the fight is definitely very hard if he gets picked off. But I think, there's only like really two things to stop the Brewmaster: the Ancient Seal and maybe a fast imprisonment. I think things like Bro Strike are just a little bit too slow to catch off the Brewmaster, but the Brewmaster has been dying in this fight, so I really can't blame him. Looks like 4-staff blink. Oh, nice play by the OD, realizing, hearing the Stampede sound, getting the F out of there. So nice play, but gets hit by the fishing arrow. Is there someone think to happen? But looks like this is going to be a huge bait. The other heroes are in position, counter-initiate. And it looks like Centaur realizes it and kind of backs off there. So smart play by the Centaur. It looks like finally the Lone Druid is coming into play. He has his Maelstrom right now, so Lone Druid is not that farmed, honestly. So I thought that mid lane, he didn't get as many last hits as the OD, but I thought, his team was playing better. He got more towers. He kind of farmed so much, but regardless, their team's still doing very well. They get the tower. 4-staff from the center, but where's the blink? It's a little problem. Again, from the Panda, looks like the agency was not there on time. Skyface goes down. Is there epicenter? Yes, there is. Looks like that's not enough to kill anyone. Very low heroes. Marana goes down. Can they get the G hero? No G hero. The center goes down to the old elfin. 2 for 2 trade so far, but this Cockroach is really strong. Spectre gets unfortunately picked off on the back. But if they can get this Panda, it'll be very huge. They gotta hit the Panda right now before he blinks. Oh, it's a little unfortunate. There's no hook. There is a 4-staff right now. But Clockwork has to be careful. He has the Cog right now instead of 4-staff. Where's the Clockwork? He has to see. Yes, there is. Nice Cog. He has to. Alright, so nice play. Clean disengage there, but unfortunately, what happened there was that the Skyface did not get his silence off, and the epicenter just unfortunately did not have enough damage. It's a little bit too much work right there. And so, even though OD survived and got a couple kills, looks like they got another kill for 4 trade right now. It looks like the cavalry is coming in for Harry the carry. Sorry, 4 for 3 trade. Who died? How the Lone Druid went back in. It looks like they did not die. Sand King with that Blink Dagger showing off his stuff right now, but what is happening? Oh, Brewmaster is fast, I suppose. Brewmaster will find this generation room right now, but looks like Sentry Ward comes down, but he's about to get out of Sentry Ward range. Yes, nice 4-staff from the Centaur. Nice save there for his buddy. It looks like this should be a clean getaway. Not a getaway for the Panda, but overall that fight was honestly pretty even. I think the Radiant might have came out ahead just because I think they got an extra kill there, but the fact that they were behind, trading evenly is just a better side for them to get back in this game. If you look at the XP graph, is completely even. Goal graph is still in favor of the Dire side, but not for long. I think just because we see a Midas on the morale. Let me do a quick item check right now. We have a, still a BKB almost done for the OD. Spectre is pretty poor, but saving up for his Rug, so he still wants a Radiance. This will be a very late Radiance. Maybe it'll be a 30-minute Radiance at best if they can get, the external towers. Otherwise, it'll just be a very
Dire's
late
bottom
Radiance.
tower is
We have
under
an
attack.
accept on the Clockwork. That's, very important for this side. We see Clockwork doing a lot of work, but he's just one hook shot. But, if you can get 2 or 3 hook shots in these fights, he will definitely, give the Radiant the edge they need, to create space for Spectre to get big and get that Radiance, create space for the OD to farm his BKB and maybe a Hex Scepter, a Hex stick after that. Big pickup, I think. This Agnes is a really big deal just because Clockwork will get even tankier, but that cooldown is just so good right now for these other heroes. The nice play by the OD, realizing that they can see him in the ward, but oh wow, this OD very ballsy right now. He has to be careful that the blink just comes off cooldown for Centaur and doesn't get like reinitiated upon. He's the only one right now, and starting to take the screen off. He has to be careful just because he doesn't have imprisonment. He doesn't have his force staff. Now he does, but yeah, very careful. Arrow on the Mirana, but nice easy dodge there by the OD. So, I like what the Dire side's doing. They're being the aggressors, even though, these ganks aren't working out as well as they would have wanted. But still, that's what they gotta do. They gotta pressure the Spectre into fighting. They have to pressure, pressure the Radiant team to kind of take bad fights and, take fights where they're taking a lot of damage against their tower against heroes like Hero and the Bear. So, Spectre is still very much worthless right now. I really think he should go farm against Lone Druid or farm bottom just because he can't really do anything right now. He's an ultimate and honestly just a distraction. It's all about the Clockwork, Sand King, and Scarlet Mage right now just because they have the ability to set up heroes like the OD to drop a big ult. BKB right now in the OD. He has to get that delivered right away before the fight breaks out. But, in that time, the Bear and Liquefire do so much damage. You have to be really careful right now that they don't take too much damage on this tower, but they lift it up, and Spectre is still farming. Mirana and Clockwork are trying to initiate, but this tower is about to go down right now. Dude, they do have a chance to initiate. I really don't think it's worth it. Hook in on the Mirana. Clockwork gets plugged in. He has to get out of there right now. He is there. No, they're split on the piano. Big macro fire and Epicenter, but looks like there's no hero dead right now. Split going on. Sand King, is he gonna fall? No, Centaur looking for a kill right now, but he's not himself. It looks like OD has BKB. He's taking so much damage to the 1-4 staff and a mag. Wow, nice play by the OD. And nice play by Sand King. Well, can they get any kills? If they can kill the Bears, nice kill on the Bears. 1-for-1 trade right now. Just hero for the Clockwork. Sand King, the Clockwork is obviously a bigger prize than their BKB. On this panel, did not notice that, but Mirana going in way too deep right now. Centaur is losing the well, but he's trading his life for that kill. I don't think that's worth it. 2-for-3 trade right now. Spectre is alive. That's the important part. He probably has a relic skill worth of gold. Yes, he does right now. That's a relic for the Spectre. These fights are very costly. I think, an extra kill on the... I forgot who it was. Oh, this was on the OD. Maybe if it was on OD, I guess it was worth it by this time. But let's be careful about diving too deep for these kills and feeding the heroes like Spectre, but that fight could have gone really badly for the Dire side if the Ancients went off on the Panda. I didn't realize he had a BKB, so let me just go through the items again. Kind of got caught up a little bit there, but
top tower has been denied.
These fights are favoring the Radiant more and more just because they have a lot of force staff. That's very strong. There's a force staff on the OD and a force staff on the Clockwork. That's kind of saving the heroes on the Radiant side from heroes like the Panda and the Centaur and the Bear. So that's very important. Quick item check. We have a cloak. We almost a pipe right now on the Centaur in addition to his force staff and blink dagger combo. The Bear, has a hyperstone, so making his way towards the Sun Kira. That'll be a big item. Taking down those towers even faster. Mirana looks like he should be going for a Maelstrom or a Desolator, I imagine. Desolator I think is very good here just because it allows her to push down towers even faster with heroes like the Lone Druid and the Jakiro. So those towers will definitely melt with a Desolator and AC on the Dire side, but enough of that. We have a Force Staff. No, we have a Eul's coming up on the Hero. Of course, it's a Eul's. Just because, the Eul's sets up the Ice Path and Macro Pyre. Very nice. On the other side, on the Radiant, we have, a Clockwork going for that Blade Mail, I imagine. I think Clockwork has to have, improved cog positioning. Clockwork's been doing a very nice job, but, to even improve his play a little bit, I think his cog should be a little bit more, well thought out. Kind of, does he want to trap enemy heroes? Does he want to catch enemy heroes? Or push him back. I think that's very important, but looks like we have a kill on the Mirana right here. Looks like she got ganked by the Clockwork and the Sinclair just pulled up. Yes, it was. But looking at the items again, Spectre very close to his radiance, and OD working on his next item, which I imagine will be a Hex here. No reason to get a Hex. Improves his ultimate by so much and his right click damage. So I expect a Hex coming up. Spectre almost his radiance, and
Regeneration.
this is looking bad actually for the Dire side, just because they had such an early game lead, but their heroes don't extend as well into the late games, because I don't think this Druid is farm enough. He is 6 in net worth right now. Nice hook by the Clockwork. Can they get the skill? Nice clock right now. They get the solo battery assault damage on the Dire side, but yes, all of them is very easy to kill right now. But Clockwork has to be a little bit more careful about breaking or not breaking the clock. Brewmaster, nice BKB, dodge the Burrow Strike, but you do want to commit to this fight. 2 heroes are down. Looks like that might be a wasted BKB right now. Satan has to get out of there. Clean blink away, so unfortunately that's a wasted BKB out of the Brewmaster, I think. Yeah, no, the BKB, it was definitely a safe move there, but maybe he could have realized that Scarf Mage had used the Ancient Seal recently, even though it's a pretty short cooldown, but maybe he should have just not blinked in at all, What can he do? One hero against their 3, so unfortunately, a little bit impatient right now. BKB, not too much of a problem. It's going to be down to 8 seconds right now, and Brewmaster has a split, so the BKB is not as important for a hero like Brewmaster, but when he looks like an 8-second, 9-second BKB, but once he gets to 5, he can definitely feel its effects against heroes like the OD that improve, Arcane Orb and just so much pure damage. Radiance completed right now on the Spectre, so I think that was probably a 31, 32-minute Radiance, but that was what he needs to take down heroes in these team fights like the Mirana, like JHtC. So nice play, nice catch up on the Spectre. He's currently 4th in net worth. That's like 2 ranks above what he was about 5 minutes ago. But hook in the Clockwork. Did Mirana use her lead? It should be a Din Mirana right now. It's a Spectre even haunting. They want to take this team fight right now. Ooh, is Astro right now? I can't really tell. Kill, nice ice pad. Can they take this fight? Oh, Panda does still have his BKB. He's using it right now, just going down on this Clockwork. Clockwork gets 4-step out. 9 4-step. Can't do anything right now. Hogs in the center. That's a real unfortunate. Hero BKBs right now. Oh, nice on the center from the Sand. Oh, he just one. Combos it with the OD all, but did that even get the Centaur? 1 orb. Can he get this Centaur? That will be an even bigger prize. 2-for-1 trade right now, but the Panda all is still going on. Is the Panda all over, or will this, he able to get away in time? Oh, nice kill on the Scarlet Mage, but will that be worth it if he dies right now? The Spectre has the Radiance. The Panda, I think, really should try to... No, he has his, Broken Haze and, what's it called? Astral Imprisonment definitely doesn't favor, just because he can try to blink out after the Astral Imprisonment done. Looks like we have a pause right now on JHtC. Looks like 2 of their heroes have disconnected, but still, overall this fight, if you take a look at the fight recap, no fight recap. So we have a 2-for-2 trade right now. Lone Druid and the Scarf Mage for Mirana and JHtC. You don't really want, and Clockwork for the JHtC and Mirana. You don't really want to lose the Clockwork right now, just because he's, a pretty high kill score this game, and really, really high level, I think. Yeah, he's only a very high level. I don't really want to give that hero off, but Clockwork is doing what he needs in these fights to try to make space for his carriers to kind of get in the right clicks and get in the farm. But right now, I think we have actually a Monair coming out of the Spirit Bear. I think the plate mail is pretty good against heroes and against the team, but obviously against heroes like the OD and the Vestilator, they have spells that kind of go through armor. So even if he got a what's it called? If he got installed Curath, that minus armor might not make a difference. I think installed Curath is a little bit more of a safe item, but if they can get a Skull Inspector, that'd be huge. Spectre goes down. A little bit too aggressive right there from the Sand King Inspector. They saw OD get out. I think really they should just follow suit, or at least focus on the tower. Tower is very good. Maybe that's probably a little bit better trying to get a kill on a Brewmaster. Brewmaster uses all, even though he's a very high level and very high in net worth. Top of the leaderboard, but that tower is more important, and not letting the Spectre die is extremely important as well. So, going for a rotation on this Dire side right now. This should be a good rotation with the Spectre down, even though he has ultimate when he revives back up, but they can't really contest this without the Spectre. AC complete on the Brewmaster, so 1 AC to none right now, but will
Roshan has fallen to the
complete
dire.
his Monair? That's what I'm questioning right now. Looks like it is, so I'm not a really big fan of that. I think AC is a little bit better for pushing, but obviously insane attack speed and the debuff on the Monair, so I don't blame him there. But it looks like, with that Aegis, what can the Dire side do right now? Will they try to kind of push in some of these towers, or will they still kind of allow them to kind of tell them to kind of lose these team fights. One thing that obviously the Rand can do is split push. A lot of T1 towers down right now. Looks like that's what OD's doing. I think maybe Clockwork should rocket flare mid to get that push going. But I like what this bear is going right now. This bear is with that Monair bulb trying to stall the push on the mid lane while they're pushing the bottom lane right now. So, all tier 2 towers are down for the Radiant side right now. It looks like everyone has their ultimate up except for the OD in soon, but will it be soon enough? 20 seconds right now before that ultimate goes off. And, in this time, obviously, Hero will do so much damage to this tower. Oh, Blink after Dice hook stop as well, but will this be enough? And the Centaur is extremely tanky. Looks like he'll get turned around on the tower. Tower goes down right now. Centaur falls as well. Zanky goes down. 2-1 trade right now. With the Spectre ultimate, with the Mirana ultimate as well. So can OD and the Spectre do anything? OD does not have TTV. Looks like he's about to fall. Yes, he does. Or he's about to. So Spectre goes in as well. He's about to die as well. Can he get his kill on the run before he dies? Yes, he does, but Kyo gets the kill as well. It's a little bit unfortunate, Is there a buyback on these heroes? Clockwork fought back. He's about to die back. Buyback by the OD. Can't even make anything happen. It's 3 for 1 right now, but these heroes are very low. OD, does he have a keep score in? No, he doesn't, but oh man. Great fight for the Dire side. They have a lot of heroes alive right now. They get the melee racks. That's all they really wanted. And, of course, 2 buybacks. The OD and the Clockwork. Oh, Yule into the Ice Path. This will probably be a dead OD once he has a PvP. Oh, big ult. Yeah, he's the only one. Look at the hero. He has a mech and a force staff right now. So he has the mech and a force staff out of there. Where's your mech? Where's the force staff? Looks like he's about to get out of a Blinken. And, unfortunately, Santa's a little bit too late right now. And he can't even get this mana in return. So, OD buys back and dies. Clockwork buys back and dies. So it's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, he has to be careful right now. He has a blink. He has a bro strike. If he can get this kill, this will be huge. Lingering on the sandstorm. No. So that's a little unfortunate. He has to be careful right now. If Skyrath mage TP's kind of on this side, but he definitely has a blink. Going for another pair of towers, especially with Lone Rooted. So should be a pretty easy, base wipe. Head to the base, but Aegis gets to take off. Maybe that's why he was so aggressive, but 2 lanes are racked down right now for Dire. It looks like he's going bad for the Dire, Radiant side were definitely coming back. Looks like that one play on the bottom lane was too much, they had a nice initiation, but I think those are the wrong heroes to initiate. I think really thinking for the Radiant side was counter initiate rather than initiate was too much because Panda and Centaur are so easy that initiating on them is probably not a very good choice just because heroes like the Skyrath Mage is not in position to drop a big Mystic Flare, and they really needed that extra damage to kill heroes like the Centaur before he got off the ultimate. But nice play from both teams, nice almost comeback from the Radiant side. They definitely put up very good fights. Kind of a little bit sloppy play on the Dire side just because they were kind of team fighting without their full lineup. Team fighting, as groups of 3, groups of 2, but regardless, nice last team fight on the Dire side. Looks like they're going to take game 1 right now, and stay tuned, guys, for game 2. This should be coming up right about now. Okay, looks like my mic was muted. And hopefully that mic was not muted for too long, guys. If it was, I'm so sorry. And whoever might be watching this VOD will probably just hear me cut out. But again, nice play from both sides of the team right now. Alright, so for anyone that might be watching, we're gonna have the second game of the series to be postponed because Team Piece of Toast has to play in the summit. So if you guys are bored, check that out on I think Beyond the Summit stream, I'm guessing. Be nice to kind of see how our amateur teams play up against other more seasoned amateur teams. So I'm gonna stop the recording right here and I'll keep the stream on, but I probably won't be here. So I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. I think we're gonna try to reconvene at 11 o'clock. I know it's gonna be a little bit late, and unfortunately I have stuff to do, but try to get that done now. So I'll see everyone back at 11 o'clock. And sorry about that, guys. That break and the long wait time, but shit happens. And thanks for tuning in, guys, and or whoever's watching the VOD. So, all right, welcome back, everyone. We have our game 2 between JHtC Carry against Piece of Toast for the winners bracket. We have Piece of Toast taking the first game in a pretty nice struggle there, but right now this is game 2 again. We had a quick pause, no, not a quick pause, a rather lengthy pause, just because some of the players had to actually play in the summit, so that was pretty cool. But it looks like everyone's ready to go, and we're getting ready to start this second game now. So, in the first game, definitely
10 seconds remaining.
a Piece of Toast drafted a very like aggro heavy lineup that really got a strong lead early on, but JHtC Carry put up a pretty good fight and won a lot of team fights in the mid game, but unfortunately, when Piece of Toast finally grouped together as 5 rather than just kind of getting picked off in bunches of like 2 or 3, were able to push down and actually get all the racks just because they had such insane tower damage from the bear and the liquid fire. So they were actually able to win in one fight and just win the game from there. So in the second game right now we have bans of Lycan, Crobolus, Razor, and Terrorblade. Very standard bans here, some of the top heroes Link would have seen right now, but that definitely leaves open the Faceless Void and the Brewmaster for the first picks here. So we have Piece of Toast again favoring that Brewmaster pickup. We saw Brewmaster do just a lot of work last game, just because he was so ahead in levels and farm compared to like a lot of the heroes on JHtC Carry that single split with a really fast blink dagger really won a lot of fights for Piece of Toast early on. But this time we have a Faceless Void, so last game JHtC Carry had a Spectre that took a really long time to get online. He had like a 30-minute Radiance, but Faceless Void normally has a little bit more presence in the fights and in the lane compared to a Spectre. So we might be able to see a little bit more early aggression from JHtC Carry, and maybe they can put up a better fight early on rather than get stomped by a tri-lane like they did last game. But picking up Faceless Void this early on definitely opens up the way for your opponent to do an aggressive try, just because Void definitely, like Spectre, is not the best laner out there, and aggressive tri-lane like the one they had in last game for Piece of Toast might work wonders again, just because heroes like the Skywrath Mage are very good in aggro tries because they have so much lane presence. But Jakiro's picked up as the second pick for JHtC Carry, and that's a very defensive support. Ice Path and Liquid Fire will is pretty good at shutting down the aggression. A lot of Jakiros these days really like the Liquid Fire and Ice Path build, and I don't blame them. Well, all of Jakiro's spells are extremely good in my opinion, even the Dual Breath, just because it has attack and movement slow. It's kind of like a combination of Ice Path and Liquid Fire. And I really think Dual Breath as a skill is a little bit undervalued, but for a good reason compared to some of the other skills. You have a Tide Hunter and Disruptor ban. So those two heroes are definitely very strong team fight heroes. It's interesting to see a Disruptor ban, honestly, just because you don't see that support too much in the pro games, but Disruptor, his ultimate is obviously very strong, but I think it's a very good setup also for the Skywrath Mage. Disruptor Skywrath Mage definitely have very good team fight, but I don't know, like the support of Skywrath Mage and Disruptor is just not very like aggressive. Their damage is is good, but can be pretty inconsistent. But looks like Piece of Toast decided to go with a Visage actually for their second support. So we have a Visage and Skywrath support combo. Pair the support with 0 armor starting. So that'll be pretty interesting, but they're definitely in a position to kind of bully out the Void or the Jakiro, just because they have the range advantage, and they definitely have very strong nukes at level 1s and at level 2.
5 seconds remaining.
And so definitely, I think those two heroes are pretty decent in aggressive trial. I guess the only problem would be is that they don't really have any like definitive stuns. They just have some pretty decent slows. So heroes like Void should be able to get away if Skywrath Mage does not have an early level in the Silence. But we'll kind of see how they want to lane it. It's really hard to say if they want to do an aggro try or just do a safe lane yet. But from what we've seen from JHtC game, I think they favor definitely the early fighting lineups more than a farming lineup. Now, last game they had like a farming centaur. That definitely worked very well for them. And so I expect them to, be more aggressive early on, just to try to take advantage of the Void before Void can get anything going on. Before he can just like farm like a quick Massive Madness, before he can farm up like an Axe Scepter, and essentially before the Void gets online. But we have a Witch Doctor and Sand King ban for JHtC, so trying to ban out some of the better supports in this patch. Obviously, Witch Doctor is very strong with the Faceless Void just because of that Death Ward. Especially if he has an Axe Scepter, just says probably puts him as one of the highest DPS heroes in the game if he gets that Axe Scepter early enough. Sand King as well, Epicenter and Chronosphere is still a very good combo. But instead they go for the Ogre Magi as their source. So both teams kind of picked up the two supports early and leaving the core, up for grabs. But Ogre Magi, I think, unfortunately, Jakiro and Ogre Magi, those two supports kind of get bullied around by the Skywrath and Visage, in lane just because they have one melee hero and one, I think, 400 range hero against two 600 range heroes with very long range spells. So I definitely think the laning on JHtC is extremely strong just because they have the range advantage and they do still have a lot of burst damage even if they don't have any lockdown. But Ogre Magi does have 6 armor. Jakiro is a very tanky support hero. And so we'll see kind of how that goes, honestly. If I think, if this is Void in a tri-lane with Jakiro and Ogre Magi is not the strongest, really. I think you definitely want to avoid that matchup if they have an aggro tri-lane because, maybe those two heroes paired up with another hero, maybe something like a Drow. Drow is definitely very viable here with that Visage pick, especially. But looks like we have a Bat Rider pick right now. And so we definitely have like an earlier team fight lineup for JHtC, even though their one position has not really been revealed yet. I really think a hero like Drow, who definitely can do some early lane damage with her Frost Arrows and her aura especially, is very good. And 3 range, 600 range heroes is definitely a very strong lane. And they're definitely no slouch in terms of both offensive and they have decent defensive capabilities as well in terms of the Gust if they have a Drow and the Visage Brave Shield. But we'll see what they want. I know JHtC right now, they're obviously lacking a lot of their core heroes. I think regardless of what hero they pick, the lanes for JHtC is just very strong. Even if this Bat Rider maybe ditches the safe lane for the jungle, it'll still be a very strong mid-game force. And honestly, it really depends on the Void right now, so we haven't seen the other 2 picks for JHtC yet. But the Ogre Magi and Jakiro, again, while they're very strong supports, I think like individually together, they're just like not as desirable as some of the other supports that provide a little bit more presence in the lane. But so maybe like a good core here. Looks like they pick up an Invoker, so we have an Invoker mid probably for JHtC. I think with that pick, the tri-lane of JHtC definitely gets a lot stronger, especially with a Exort Invoker with that extra stun strike benefiting from the Ogre Stun and Jakiro Ice Path. And definitely that might make their tri-lane a little bit more potent compared to the Radiant tri-lane, but Invoker is pretty susceptible to ganks, especially against the heroes, the roaming supports, potential roaming supports from the range side, just because if Panda is mid and he gets a clap off on the Invoker, and there's at least +1 hero with a slow like the Visage or Skywrath Mage, that will definitely be a very dead Invoker. But Invoker does offer a lot of teamfight presence. He combos pretty well with the Faceless Void as well. He can drop, a Meteor in the Faceless Void. Bat Rider blinks in, he can Tornado to get him, get the hero out of the last, or at least buy some time. But we have last pick, Phantom Assassin now, so definitely a core. I mean, the one Phantom Assassin. I'm not sure which the lane right now. If they really want to do an offensive lane, Bat Rider seems to be the off lane, or at least the solo. But I think regardless, he'll have. Oh, actually, he'll have. So there's a Doom pick right now. I think Bat Rider definitely does very well against the Doom. So the lanes are looking very strong for JHtC right now. Yeah, I don't really expect that to change as we play the game, just because JHtC have been very good at executing their lineups, especially in the early game. But Phantom Assassin is very good against Void these days, just because Void cannot hit Phantom Assassin 100% through Chronosphere anymore. That was definitely a big nerf, and that's one of the reasons why Phantom Assassin has such a big increase in popularity. But So we have a Doom right now. Doom actually, I think, no longer disables passives as well without an acceptor. So again, the Doom pick here is a little bit questionable just because he'll have a hard time laning no matter where he goes.
10
Obviously, he doesn't
seconds.
want to go against
10
a tri
seconds
lane. The
remaining.
Brewmaster will be a doable lane, but not the easiest lane for him. And I think something like a Soul Bat Rider doesn't really favor the Doom as well. But I don't know, this Doom, I'm not really sure
Prepare
who they're
for
trying to shut
battle.
down right now just because, doing the Panda before he gets a slit off is very nice, but I think it's definitely hard to catch the Panda out unless you have vision of him beforehand. So we'll see how this Doom does this game. I think, he'll be bullied around a lot in the lane, and if he can get off to a decent start though, the heroes on the other side are pretty squishy. But I don't really think this is a Doom game just because there's not like any one hero you really want to shut down besides the Panda. But then again, it's just really hard to like counter initiate against the Panda in the first place. So let me just introduce the players real quick for those of you who might have missed it the first time around. On the Radiant side, we have Piece of Toast, who are up in this series 1-0. We have Shibi on the Panda, Devdas on the Skywrath Mage,
30 seconds
Abukamu
to battle.
on the Phantom Assassin, SU Blood on the Bat Rider, Nusham on the Visage, and on the Dire side, we have JHtC the carry. We have Bearju on the Doom, Bathroom Boy on the Void, Nikki Loda on the Invoker, Swipe Left on the Ogre Magi, and Weed Warrior on the Jakiro. So it looks like we have a defensive tri lane right now with the PA up against a dual lane of the Jakiro and Doom.
The battle
This lane will
begins.
be very questionable. I think it'll be hard for these heroes to kind of get anything out of this lane. Just because, the two supports on the Brighton side can really dedicate themselves to zoning out the dual lane on the other side just because they have the stronger lane presence. And Jakiro, really needs those levels to be effective early on. If he stays back, like, and doesn't get a lot of experience in this dual lane, I think he'll be, like, really kind of, like, hindered in his potential this game. But if he leaves a Doom solo, that'll be just very bad as well, just because there's so much killing power. Doom, there's so many slows. Dagger, Grave Chill, Concussive Blast. There's so many slows, and so Jakiro definitely needs to like stay in lane to try to help out this Doom. You're gonna see that they're getting zoned already by a single Skywrath Mage with level 1 Arcane Bolt. On the other side, at the top lane, we have a Ogre against the Bat Rider. I think this is pretty interesting. Looks like Ogre did not start with an early wand. I'm not sure if he was maybe expecting that. Looks like he bought a lot of chicks and wards for his team, but definitely wants a magic wand as soon as possible to kind of benefit from the Bat Rider napalm spam. Let me just bring up the last hit table real quick. It looks like we have Panda in the last hit, but obviously this is very early on. Doing pretty well against the Invoker, and this is definitely going to be an Exhort Invoker, as you might expect, just because this is such a good game for an Exhort Invoker with all this setup stuns, the Chronosphere, the Fire Blast, or even the Ice Path. So we have a quick engagement on the Doom. Looks like he's zoned out. Sorry. Jakiro a little bit out of position here right now. He has to be really careful. Looks like he really wants this kill, but there's another Arcane Ball right now. Jakiro can be in pretty big trouble. Looks like he has a magic wand. Phantom Lancer kicks in First Blood. That was a little bit sloppy from JHtC the carry, because that Jakiro is playing way too aggressive. Against, even though he had a wand, heroes on the Radiant side just weren't that low because he only has Liquid Fire right now, and I think it's on like 20-second cooldown. Yeah, 20-second cooldown level 1. And he doesn't really offer a lot. Liquid Fire every 20 seconds isn't really gonna cut it against something like a 5-second Arcane Bolt. So a little bit sloppy, really needless to give up the First Blood.
Is mine.
Especially to the Phantom Assassin, I believe, who got it. No, Skywrath Mage got it, but Phantom Assassin got some assist money. But very tough lane in the bottom. But I just admire that they're playing very aggressive and not really afraid of the dire supports. But looks like Jakiro is gonna be gone right now. He already used his Liquid Fire, which is very bad. Phantom Sandstorm has his Blink Strike still, but look how slow this Jakiro is moving. Blink Strike, one hit. They can't catch up. Oh no, Stifling Dagger. Looks like he doesn't want to risk it, so it looks like Jakiro gets away scot-free, but not before burning a salve. So Jakiro essentially like out of regeneration in this lane. Doom is very close to being out of regen himself. He has a boost if he wants it, but this lane is just not looking good for them. Phantom Assassin maybe like low on mana, but she still has Skywrath Mage and Visage backing her up, so hard lane on the bottom for the dire side right now. But how's middle doing? We see Panda still doing well, very well. It's doing very well against the Invoker so far, doubling his CS. Kind of surprised at that, but Invoker guys double damage, so Panda definitely has to respect that. But looks like just the right click damage from the Panda, and his animation is probably just winning the lane right now, which is really surprising because Invoker should be able to put out a lot of harass, but it looks like Panda's able to kind of take advantage of that. Missing a couple last hits there, but no problem. On the other side, we see Boy leading the net with Shark, as you might expect. Bat Rider, how's he doing? Look, he has Boots and 5 Tangos, and almost level 3, so it's not too bad, but I don't know. I really think Bat Rider should just go to the jungle. I know, like, he's able to keep the Ogre Magi busy by staying on the top lane, but I think a faster Blink Dagger and more levels is definitely more advantageous. Just because Void doesn't have a magic stick yet, but I think Void's going to be a very hard kill for Bat Rider. And with the 4-man shield that Void has, with the Stout shield, it'll be very hard for Bat Rider to zone out Void. But if you take a look at the levels of all the heroes right now, I really think JHtC should try to be a little bit more cautious when he plays when he doesn't have any levels. I really think, this game, I think at level 4 he should get 1 point in Dual Breath just because an extra 0.4 seconds Ice Path. I don't think that does as much as Dual Breath, just because Dual Breath has the movement and attack too slow, which can be very valuable. Doom with a haste, going up against the Visage, but it looks like he doesn't want to really face against the Visage just because he's kind of low right now. But it looks like he just wants to sap EXP or just mess around with the supports in the jungle. But so far, a pretty tame game. We don't really have anything happening. We have over match with a Sobi match. That's pretty interesting, honestly. Looks like he wants to go for Earn or a Soul Ring. And that's obviously, 2 very strong items for the Ogre Magi, but I'm surprised he didn't gone a Magic Wand yet, honestly, just because he'd have so much regen from the Magic Wand and from that Harass. He'd basically be able to kind of keep the Bat Rider out of lane with something like an Ignite, just because Ignite actually does so much damage right now. It does about almost 200 damage level 2, which is pretty insane for level 2 spell. But, Blaze's Void's getting farmed, which is really good for the Dire side since their bottom lane is not going so well. We have a go on the JHtC right now. He already uses Liquid Fire. Is there a jump in? Ice Path hits the Visage, but Soul Assumption takes her out, and the PA Blinken. Doom trying to, just strut his stuff in the lane, but takes a really big Soul Assumption to the face. So again, 3 kills on the bottom lane, 4 pieces of toast. I really think, they have a ward here, so they really have to be a little bit more careful right now. It looks like this Dire ward should be able to see this ward. Yes, it does. So looks like that'll be even worse for the Dire offlane right now, just because their 1 ward is now gone. So JHtC really has to be careful about his position. And I think he should be the one to save Doom if Doom is an Nature opponent, just because Doom, has 5 armor, has 800 HP. He has regeneration from Scorched Earth, and if PA blinks in, he can probably set up a nice 2-person Ice Path and maybe turn around from there. But if JHtC gets gone on, it's much harder to land an Ice Path. And so we have a nice 1-hit bash on the Bat Rider. That's Bash Lord, so strong. But it looks like that's not nearly enough. Ogre Magi was not in position fast enough, and he was out of mana in the first place with 1 wand charge though, so he might be able to get the kill. But regardless, we kind of see Panda rotating up the top lane right now, trying to make something happen. I'm assuming he's level 7. Oh, he's level 7 right now with his ultimate off cooldown, but looks like he was not able to get a kill with the ultimate. So sorry I missed that kind of action there, but nothing really transpired from that kill. But great awareness by the Invoker right now, noticing that Skyrath Mage went off the map, and maybe probably saw it from a. Yeah, actually he kind of saw it. There's no observer ward in the bottom as of now, but looks like JHtC went into top lane. This is a little bit unfortunate just because it would have been a dueling on the bottom, and he would have been able to play a lot more aggressive like he wants to without the punishment or the risk factor of the Skyrath Mage. Chronosphere on the Bat Rider now. Sunstrike, that's a power of their lineup. Chronosphere and Sunstrike, nice play. JHtC the carry, gets on the board, much needed kill just because we were definitely trailing behind in the bottom lane, and in particular with the XP and gold grab, Piece of Toast is definitely ahead by a small margin. 1,000 gold this early on is not too bad at all, so definitely need these kills, these Sunstrike kills to get them back in the game. But one thing that's kind of going badly for the Dire side is that their heroes just they don't have a lot of level advantage. As we saw earlier, the level advantage is obviously going the Radiant side from those kills, but even just overall, we see Bat Rider to level 5, which is definitely doing better than Doom and the twin-headed JHtC. So even though Bat Rider may not have the most farm right now, he's still doing a pretty good job of getting experience. But it looks like right now he's done doing the smart thing and letting Skyrath Mage get the experience, while he himself takes it out the jungle. He has a double stack, or at least double stack right now, and looks to be farming with that Blink Dagger soon. He's still quite a far away from it, but they're not in really hurry just because Panda. Oh wow, Panda good Blink Dagger. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like he gets the ultimate cancel. Looks like this should be dead Panda right now. Oh, but nice Ice Path will be able to get this Panda kill. There's only one more competitor shot left on the Ogre. Nice one-up by him. Will Panda go in for the Blink Step? They have to be careful to cancel the Blink Dagger, or Panda will go for an ultimate right now and take Jakiro out with them. Oh, nice chain stun. Will Invoker be able to deter the Panda from splitting? Looks like yes, he does, with the Cold Stab and the Force Spirit. So Panda was not able to get a kill there. Maybe he should have used his ultimate earlier, but looks like there's a kill in the bottom lane. I caught the end of that. Looks like Doom, you know, unfortunately, she just could not handle the slows from these two heroes right now. Phantom Assassin, a very high, level 8. Wow, without any Midas. Well, Doom is only level 4, so things are looking very bad for JHtC the carry already. But, you know, we saw in the last game they were able to pull off a pretty nice comeback, and hopefully they can put up a show like that this game as well. But I really think the comeback mechanic is a little bit harder for the Dire, just because I feel like the team fight and the pick-off potential of the JHtC the carry's lineup last game was so much stronger with the Sand King and the Scarlet Mage combo than the Jakiro and Ogre Magic combo this game. You know, the damage isn't there in the supports, and the cores are just very much behind. So it'll be a very hard game for JHtC the carry right now. So the one good thing for them is that Void is leading the network chart. He has a Midas. I'm assuming he'll probably go like something like a Massive Magnus Nest. So Midas treads 9-man Sin. That's not bad at all. Well, he's pretty much unharassed right now. You know, JHtC the carry looking to win other lanes. Doom gets run upon right now. Grave Chill looks like this should be a very easy kill. Ice Path tries to save him, but nope. Unfortunately, there's too much damage from such a high level PA right now, and you know, Visage is level 6 even, so much physical damage. Doom with his respectable 5 armor, not nearly enough to recall off that game. And so you can see kind of the falling here of Jakiro, because you really can't do anything to kind of deter these games, because Ice Path isn't that good in the early on. It's like 1.4 seconds. That's pretty much nothing. And over Magi, he has to get in very close to kind of get off his stun, and even then, that's all he has. One stun for I think 1.5 seconds. Yeah, 1.5 seconds, and then he's done. So the supports in this game just a little bit weaker than the Sand King Scarlet combo from last game for JHtC the carry. But you know, props to the Radiant side for playing it really well. They definitely realize, you know, they have to have the killing potential when their heroes are out of position. But Jakiro really wants to slow up Assumption. He has. Nope, never mind. He doesn't nearly have the mana for it. That was a Grave Chill, but looks like Jakiro, you know, it's just really hard to be a Jakiro in this game when you're so under level. Over Magi, same thing again. He's a little bit higher level, has a little bit more mana, but looks like there's a kill on the Jakiro from the Panda with a haste dagger and with a haste rune. Oh, looks like he unfortunately missed the clap on the Doom. That might have been a kill there with a clap and a hit for sure, but Panda blinks in. Is he gonna try to split? Looks like he can't. Well, they get the kill. Nice play. Hold snap, preventing the animation from the split. They get a much needed kill on this Panda, who's doing very well in this game so far. So nice play. That cold snap, you know, I didn't realize, you know, cold snap goes through the Panda split animation, but regardless, that was very needed. But Jakiro here, will he go for the solo kill on this Invoker? Wow. Look how much damage with the Medallion of Purge. Ice Path. Oh wow, the Visage Birds with the Medallion just did so much damage. I'm surprised they had plus 56 damage there, even though they had so many shots out. That was very strange. But Jakiro, I mean, trying to sneak out, nice Chronosphere. But will you be able to kill him in time? Jakiro gets the Ice Blast and the Ogre Magi stun. That should be an easy kill. So, you know, the Invoker for the Visage, obviously very good trade there for the Radiant side. I'm surprised, you know, that Visage did so much damage with that Medallion. Looks like Invoker did not respect the damage as well. And, you know, the Visage Birds, I'm not sure they had plus 56 damage persistently. I would have thought they would have been at like plus 0 right now. But regardless, Visage, nice kill on the Invoker again. And it's definitely Radiant's control the game. How is Bat Rider doing for his Blink Dagger? He's still about 500 gold away right now, and that will definitely be when they really turn on the aggression. Panda already has his Blink Dagger. What is PA going for right now? PA is going for a Helmet of the Dominator, I'm assuming, or it's a very casual Morgan. That's something unlikely, but he also has a very casual Soben Man, so it's like a PA going to some kind of costume party, or I'm not really sure what these items for. I mean, both of these items build into a Vlad's, but I'm not really sure if she's doing for a Vlad's. I think Vlad's would be a pretty good choice here, just because, like Helmet of the Dominator, it gives you life steal, but gives you very good armor against heroes like the Void. That life steal can be beneficial for Panda-ish, but you know, Sobi Mask and Method does. That's something a very interesting item combo to have without finishing the other. And you know, Sobi Mask on PA is just not that good compared to a Ring of Basilius, just because PA does not have a lot of intelligence. Their base region is very low, and 50% amplification to that is still very low. But we'll see what she wants to do with that Sobi Mask. You know, but again, very peculiar item choice overall. And so let's just do a quick item check for some of the heroes. I expect Jakiro, Boots, Doom. He has a recipe. What did he have? Looks like it's a Hand of Midas recipe. So Doom going for the late game, picking up the Hand of Midas. I don't know if I agree with that. I really think we need a mech to kind of hold off the aggression that Piece of Toast is about to bring on, especially with this Black Bat Blink Dagger now. So they really have to be careful. And this first Bat Blink, there is a ward, you know, right here, kind of scouting on that bat. So they should know to be really careful. But Jakiro just completely out of position right now. The last one was probably needed. Easy kill on the Jakiro. But can they do anything for a counter kill right now? Doom getting so low with that Soul Assumption. Chronosphere on one hero, so looks like this will be a 1-for-1 trade, but a Chronosphere was expended. Easy multitasking, but can they get anything else right now? Looks like they're chasing, the Doom is chasing against PA, but looks like there's an Ignite right now, but is there enough damage? No, there's one bash. What's the Blur level on PA? Blur is currently level 2, but without nice multitask, the PA is still survived. Earn gets healing. Panda comes in with his Blink Tap, but no skill. Looks like he used it in the previous engagement. But, you know, unfortunately, it's a 2-for-1 trade right now. The two really important cores are going down for JHtC the carry, but these heroes just don't have enough to finish these. The heroes from the Radiant side, Bat dodge the Ignite, very nice. That would have been kill. Void goes down as well. So 3-for-1 trade so far. Will this be a 4-for-1 trade? Definitely PA will have no reservation diving this tier 1 tower right now, especially with that Blur. Ice Path to the Miller's coming finish off. You see this is just doing so much damage in these fights. Do a fight recap, you can see that's about a 2.2k gold difference. You know, unfortunately,
Radiant's bottom tower is
know,
under attack.
The Dire side, I feel like this hero is just don't do enough, especially this Jakiro pick right now. It's not really working out for them just because he's just too low level right now. He gets picked off really easily. He doesn't do enough damage. You know, Ice Path and Liquid Fire is for pushing towers, but there's no damage in that build. That's why I really like the Liquid Fire build on Jakiro, just because it provides the team with some damage. So Jakiro isn't completely useless if he's behind, but so very tough game for Jakiro. Doom, he has his minors right now, but still, you know, without that Doom disabling passive, it's just really hard to kill the PA. You saw PA surviving just by the skin of her teeth in the last fight, and unfortunately, they really need these kills to stay in the game. Take a quick look at the net worth and gold graph. It's about a 7.5 net worth difference and a 5k gold difference. So definitely, you know, the Radiant are in very prime position, but sorry about that, just a quick drink. But you know, a good Chronosphere with the Invoker combo, maybe a Jakiro Macro Pie could really turn this game around. But they definitely need to try not to get picked off and find their levels. I think the levels here are really important. What is Invoker doing? Invoker has a minus, so this is a triple minus for the Dire side right now. Very strong late game power, especially with their lineup, but they're definitely getting rolled over in the early game. Looks like Jakiro gets picked off by the Panda. Trying to TP out right there, maybe baiting out a split, but that was not even easy. Over Magic gets caught on. One time with down player, she's so squishy. Familiars in the Visage and the Lasso. Another pick off, so 2 pick offs there for Piece of Toast, and that's exactly the way they want. They want to get pick offs, trying to find towers, and unfortunately, JHtC the carry just really can't afford to keep giving off these pick offs. You know, they're trying to sprint around and get experience, but unfortunately, you know, the Radiant heroes are in the right place at the right time and able to get these easy pick offs. I know this Panda is just can't be answered for right now, but looks like Doom got a panic kill. Wow. For some reason I was in this area, but for some reason I just could not see they're going against the Panda. Void gets a Maelstrom. I like that a lot. Maelstrom just so much DPS early on. Something they need to kind of stay in the game. I'm not really sure what's going to go that speed. Definitely needs a lot of PA, early BKB. So by the time, you know, it gets into mid game, that BKB will be really low. I'm not sure if I agree with the choice right now. BKB is very good, but BKB gets stopped by Doom. It gets stopped by the Faceless Void. And, you know, I don't know how good a BKB is right now, just because there isn't too much magic damage. Obviously, you want to dodge the over Magi spells and the Invoker Stun Strike, but again, I don't really agree with this choice. You know, PA is actually definitely like kind of at her peak right now, this early on with this level and farm advantage, but I don't know if BKB is know what she needed, just because her team, heroes like Panda, can just provide so much space for the PA in these fights. You know, PA blinks in when the Panda ults. Looks like Fizzle gets picked off by the Brewmaster. That was just a simple blink. Wow, sorry I missed that again, folks. A little bit sloppy on the job today, but hopefully I can kind of pick that up. But, you know, going back to this item choice of the BKB, I really think she doesn't really need it to survive these fights just because there's not enough damage coming out from the Dire team right now. I think the items like maybe a S and Y can be very good just because stats and damage. This is a very good mid-game item to kind of take the next level next tier of towers. Even though that might be a very common build. Maybe just, something that we've seen Loda do. Primal Slip clap goes on the mid lane. Invoker, dead Invoker. Nice play. Setting up the Master in the air. Whoa! That's a. Alright, so nothing happens. That's a 2 for nothing pickoff right now. Both of them will be a 3 for nothing pickoff. Win Brewmaster on the Jakiro. Rock, Soul Assumption. That's an easy kill right there. So it looks like this game is slowly coming to an end right now for JHtC carry. The Brewmaster really favored by PC in these games, and we see why. He's just able to control these mid-game team fights so well, and the fact that Brewmaster was able to kind of really have an easy time in the mid lane against Invoker, kind of really proving his worth, and you making the most out of that early game farm. So it looks like you're going for the Vlad and Assault Curiosity build. So that Battle Brew build with the auras is definitely very strong for this team. Obviously, those will benefit PA immensely, and how about the rest of the team as well, especially with that Assault Curiosity. The Visage Burst is even stronger. Visage is almost 11. That'll be very scary for the Dire heroes if things were not bad enough. But what is it not worth right now in these heroes? Just avoid keeping pace with the Panda, Doom, and Invoker as well, thanks to their minuses. But definitely just try to avoid these pickoffs. Obviously, that's a lot easier said than done. But doing something with Doom's doing right now, split pushing is obviously very good. But I was talking earlier how split pushing kind of got them a couple free pickoffs for the piece of post, but they gotta take these risks and try to find farm somewhere, or else they definitely have no chance in this game if they don't try to make these risky plays and find farm. One thing maybe I like to see Invoker doing is send forward spirits out to farm the jungle. You can obviously farm the jungle very safely, farm the lane very safely with his forward spirits, and these are pretty bulky dudes. They have, let's see, 700 HP, 65 damage, not to be underestimated at all. Looks like Doom here might be gone upon. Black Rider already TPing the bottom lane. We're looking for one more TP right now, but Doom does have a Blink Dagger, so if Black Rider does not catch him in time, oh wow, Doom really wants this tower right now. Unfortunately, he did not decide to blink out. He said the tower's about to be denied, so that's kind of a tragedy. So Doom gives up his life for tower denied. That's really unfortunate. I don't know if that was worth it. Obviously, if he got the tower, it might have been worth it, but I think it's just more important not dying, even though if the tower gets denied. But he's going for a BKB right now. Obviously, that's a very good trace against Skywrath Mage, and the less so the Visage, but decent against the Visage, decent against the Brewmaster. But again, just Doom's impact this game. What can he do? Even if he dooms the PA, she's still free to run around, and just Doom doesn't have too much damage right now. Just because the PA is quite farmed. She has a BKB. Looks like she'll be going. I'm guessing she'll be going for Hound of Dominator next. Or maybe she'll go for a Basher. That's pretty common as well. And Basher, that extra level of lockdown might be very good for picking up heroes like Jakiro or their Ogre Magi. But it looks like we have, Sentinel heroes, Radiant heroes, yeah, on top for a push right now. They definitely have their big ultimates. Yes, they do, except for the Bat Rider Lasso. But a Brewmaster Split should be more than suffice. Do they realize the Void can be picked off right now? Oh, yes, he does. Can't even jump before the spines comes in. Wow, he should have taken the advantage to jump right now. Void gets picked off. That's not what they needed at all. I think Void should, realize that there's a sign. There's a Skywrath Mage in this game and try to jump as soon as he can. So many heroes were missing off the map in that game. He might have been able to see Skywrath come across, from these two wards. So I think that's a little bit of a misplay by the Void. He should have jumped out as soon as he can, but regardless, he's dead right now. What item is he going for? It looks like, wow, he's going for MKB right now. So Void is still, very farmed, but he's just not quite enough this game. Supports on the Radiant side are just really farmed right now. They do so much work in these fights. Visage, we see how much work he does with that medallion, and his familiars are level 2 right now. So that's just the next level of damage they have to deal with. Skywrath Mage, level 11 as well. So just, stronger Mystic Flare from him. Just much more damage. Wow, looks like they're. I don't remember this buff to Mystic Flare. It used to be 600, 900, 1200, but looks like they gave it extra 100. Increasing per level. Yeah. Alright, sorry, that was really bad math right there, but what can Dire do to get back in this game? I really think, once Blake hits himself, MKB, that'll be a lot better for him to pick off heroes like the Brewmaster, like the PA. He doesn't have to worry about the Brew from the Brewmaster. I forgot what this spell is called. Drunken Haze from the Brewmaster, but he's still a little bit away from the MKB, and he has a minus right now. I'm surprised he's using the bottom lane. A little bit of a lapse in mind, but Doom has an invis right now. Look, were they able to see? Yes, Black Rider with a gem. Very nice pickup I really like to see, they're ahead early. They really want that early map control to kind of end this game right here and right now. And Gem is one of the best ways to make sure they're able to get those pickoffs they've been looking for. But I'm really surprised Bad Rider blinked out against the Doom. Maybe he thought the whole team was on the Doom's back, and he didn't really want to clump in case Void got off a really nice chronosphere. But it definitely should have been an easy kill on the Doom. He's probably unsuspecting of the Gem on the Bat Rider if they haven't checked the inventories yet. But looks like they're gathering for a tier 2 bottom push right now. And I really think that Dire will have a really hard time kind of pressing this back. Invoker, level 1 Invoke, that's not what you want to see right now. You want to see level like 2 Invoke at least, level 3 Invoke, just because he has like 3 spells in each fight right now. That's not exactly what you want. You want to use all 10 spells. He has a Eul Scepter, which is very good for the Sunstrike combo, very good for the Deathling Blast Meteor Sunstrike combo, and the Ice Path as well. So Invoker, definitely getting some decent farm there. But let's look at the items again. We'll find that. Alright, so PA goes for the Basher. I think that's a pretty standard build there. There's no need for it. Too much life steal, but it looks like Doom was picked off somewhere. Doom was picked off, I guess. I'm assuming. Yeah, probably in the mid lane. Looks like Panda gets the Aegis right now. He's so farmed within a Cell Curious of Vlad's and a Blink Dagger. So Panda just again doing so much work for Piece of Toast. I think really maybe they should ban out the Panda instead of some of the other heroes they've been playing. I really think, out of the heroes that he left through, I think Razor would be the least OP hero, quote unquote OP hero in this patch. But looks like Radiance is grouped up for a 5-man push. Will this be the end of the game? I really think this will be very hard for Dire to come up on this fight because their damage is very lacking. Void is trying to get the MKB before the game ends. Unfortunately, he's being 1 of 3, gets picked off a little bit too much. Doom has a Blink Dagger, really wants that BKB, so they're definitely fighting when a lot of these big items are not ready yet. And I really think this should be a game that's going to go through in Piece of Toast's favor, just because they have the Panda split, they have a PA with a BKB and a Badger. So PA is often thought of as late game heroes and maybe lower poly, but honestly, she's just a great fighter in the early and mid game. You have to blink up the heroes, blink on an over magic. I mean, basically, boy, actually got a big kick off by the Barrier. So nice play by Barrier. This should be an easy tower and an easy rack right now. Unless Void has buyback. Yes, he does. Unfortunately, that will delay his MPB by a lot. Chronosphere on the Brewmaster. Can they kill him before he gets split off? Yes, they do. It looks like he still has the Aegis. Unfortunately, that was not the right card that they wanted. PA in BKB form. Trying to get the Brewmaster. The Invoker. Doom. Mystic Flare. Killed by the Arcane Ball. Will they be able to get the Invoker? Yes, they do. Bat Rider with the Gem. Doing work. Will they get anything more? It looks like Hero falls in the background. Looks like they're going to be killed. Wow, quick GG. 26-minute GG. Nice play by Piece of Toast. Congratulations to them. 2-0 victory over JHtC carry. Obviously, their lineup is really good at kind of beating these early game skirmishes and trying to get the first blood and dominate the lane from there. Unfortunately, I really think Hero on the bottom lane for JHtC carry was a little bit out of position, but regardless, they paid up a very nice fight. They tried to turn around. Maybe if Faceless Void could get his MKB without being picked off, they might have been able to do something, but again, congratulations to Piece of Toast. Let me check their schedule real quick and see who they're facing. So in the winners bracket, they will be facing Farm and Feed in the winners bracket finals. Yeah, the winner bracket finals. And so I believe that game will be soon. Sometime. Looks like I think it'll be not this weekend, but the weekend after, just because we have a lot of losers bracket games to play right now. But so your 2 winners bracket finalists are Farm and Feed from a week ago and Piece of Toast. So congratulations to both teams. Definitely have a very good shot. I think both of these teams are guaranteed 3rd place, I believe. So congratulations to them. But I think for the weekend, we'll definitely have some more lower bracket games right now. And I'm not really sure the schedule right now. It looks like those games will be on Saturday and Sunday. So if you guys are not too busy, feel free to catch those games. But, we're done for the day. So for everyone that was watching, sorry about the delay in the middle with, the summit. Sorry about the delay in the beginning. But I hope you guys enjoyed the games. And, oh, wow, really bad end here. But, alright, so, again, hope you guys enjoyed this games. And I hope everyone has a good night. And hopefully we can see you on Saturday and Sunday as well. So, good night, everyone.